Hey yo guys, Pandy here. That's not my intro. Hey yo guys, Pandy351 here, and you can tell that this is not scripted. Um, this is kind of a bit of a vent, as well as an explanation to my online activity, such as posting 3 videos in one day, and then not posting for a week. Because I know that a lot of people, especially even my cast, don't know a lot of the situations that have been occurring. So this is one big, explanation, I guess. Probably wondering what location I'm in right now. I'm actually at the toy slash paper pal slash withered location. This is what it originally was going to look like. Obviously, some of the rooms may not change too much in design in the future. However, the whole location is probably going to get revamped, as well as some other rooms added, because, you know, there's 10 new animatronics now. So, yeah, there are a lot of changes that are going to happen in this location in particular. So I don't mind showing off what it is there for. I'm not going to explain anything right now, because I'm going to talk about what's been going on. But you'll at least get a wee bit of a preview on the idea of the place. Obviously, like, main stage, here is where Toy Pandy would be at. Paper Pal Pandy would be up here. And then the Wizards all have their own room, which will be shown later. It'll make more sense once I go in that room. But anyways, actually, to start off what's been talking about. So here's the thing. Before I continue, what I'm going to talk about has a lot of sensitive subjects. Very, very sensitive. If you get, upset about any of those kind of things or get aggroed, probably shouldn't watch this, because it's gonna get real depressing real fast. I'm pretty sure YouTube will probably demonetize me for this video. So yeah, go get merch. So yeah, this is completely unscripted. So my apologies if I repeat a lot or if I stutter, because I wanted this to be authentic, a little more personal, a little more hit to home. The reason this video has not been made up until this point is there were some situations that was happening with Maddie. I know a few of you on Instagram may have seen some of the posts and stuff that Maddie's been dealing with some rough stuff. My sister has been suicidal for a very long time, and has had a lot of depression, and recently a kid who is psychotic has decided to continue bullying from 3 years ago, and has basically gone online to even harass her on different social media, such as Wattpad, and Instagram itself, basically trying to, and she has verbalized and has told Maddie this, that she wishes that she was dead, and that she is going to make her feel so alone that she kills herself, which is why I'm saying that I'm about to talk about a lot of sensitive subjects. So yeah, she's kind of nuts. And today we finally got a restraining order in place to stop her from attempting to contact my sister, so that we can get her to leave us the hell alone, because she is honestly has been a grave danger, and that has been a huge bunch of a lot of the stress that has been on my plate. And if that was only it, then I probably would have been okay. But I also know that a lot of you may have noticed that recently there's been a large change in cast. Most of that change is because, well, to put it very nicely, I have had a lot of friends betray me, and a lot of people do some not okay things towards me or towards others. I've stepped down from a couple of projects that I was in that I honestly had a ton of fun, because some of them I had been harassed in, and others I was going to get harassed in because there were certain people involved in the project. So I've not been able to participate in a lot of other people's stuff, sadly, which has been really upsetting to me. But you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? You can't always exactly pick or choose. So, anyways, one of the biggest ones, I know you guys sort of know about it, would be I lost one of my closest friends, um, due to an argument. It wasn't really my fault. I kind of got blamed for it, though. Like, it wasn't an argument between me and them. It was an argument between them and someone else. And I got blamed for it. And they decided to leave because of it. It really hurt. Because at the time, they were one of my best friends. That I mean, they knew a lot of things about me personally. Some of the stuff that I'm going to vent about in this. Just because I trusted them. And I guess they didn't see me as a friend back. So, yeah. Another situation that occurred without complete details, I was called homophobic. Again, that actually happens a lot more than people would think. To me personally, which is funny because I am pansexual, so I joke about it because my name is Pandy, so pansexual, Pandy, haha. But like I've dated girls and guys. I do have a personal preference to guys, because I do find that sometimes girls can be a little overdramatic on certain things. However, I am a girl myself, and I know that I can be overdramatic. So, you know, kind of a pick or choose. It's one of those things where it's just like, I don't really care all that much about the person. I more care about how they act, which, you know, has led me to date guys more often than not. So there's been a lot of things. Other than that, the main thing that you guys have seen, especially on Twitter, that I've been, you know, super depressed a lot. I do suffer from PTSD, and high levels of depression. I'm not necessarily medicated for the depression, but one of the other things I also suffer from is I am diagnosed with a mood disorder, which means I don't necessarily have full control over how I'm feeling, what my mood is at the time. So there are a lot of times where I can go from just being super happy to super sad without much way of stopping it. I am, however, talking to a doctor to get medicated for depression and PTSD. So that's good, but it'll take some time because of Corona and all that. So yeah, why would I have PTSD, you may ask? Well, as of currently, my father is not in the home. He is seeking help, but he has said a lot of things that have been extremely emotionally damaging right now. Mostly just stuff that is behind backed and behind closed doors. But I have grown up in a household where I have suffered from physical and mental abuse from my father. My mother has suffered mental abuse from him. My siblings have suffered mental abuse from him, and the youngest one has suffered, and she's 10. She started to suffer from a bit of his physical abuse, and my mother finally said enough was enough and kicked him out of the house, for him to go get some help, which I'm really glad that happened, to be honest. But one of the major things is, growing up, I think some of the scoliosis damage that has occurred to me was from arguments and fights with him, in particular, just due to the fact that I got thrown a lot. I got beat against walls a lot. There were several occasions where if it was not for the fact that somebody came over or my mother came home, he probably would have killed me, because I had the inability to breathe at the time, and as much as I tried to tell him that I could not breathe, he would not listen. because he believed he was not being that rough. And that was a lot of the situations that happened, was just he didn't realize he was being as rough on me as he was and believed that it was still fine. So he would just kind of suffocate me, and that was fine because he wasn't being that strong. And for the longest time, whenever I reached out to people around me where I was like, hey, I'm being hurt at home, I don't know what to do, a lot of people, especially friends and even family, a lot of family even knew what was happening. And had decided to turn a blind eye, or they would say that everything was fine, and that I just had to, I had to behave better, which I would do. I would do time and time again. I would go out of my way to try to behave better just so that he wouldn't hurt me or my siblings. One of the things I did do, however, is I did act very aggressive and very mean to people, especially towards my younger sister, because I knew that he wouldn't attack her if he was focused on me. The thing is that I was honestly afraid that he was going to kill her, because if he didn't realize how much pressure he was putting on me, and I was older and bigger, if he put that same amount of pressure on her, it would have killed her. And that thought terrified me. So I did everything I could to keep his anger on me, to keep Mom and Maddie safe. So he's out of the house. I've been trying to help him a bit, try to understand what's going on, and sometimes he kind of gets it, and sometimes he still doesn't, and he gets a bit aggressive. Honestly, have a bit terrified that, because I get my mood disorder from him, he definitely has one, whether he says it or not. He has temper issues. Along with that, if he were to decide that it would be okay to harm us, he would, because me and him are both very impulsive. I take medication for the impulsivity, but he does not. So it's honestly, it's scary. It's terrifying. It scares the hell out of me every time he threatens or gets aggressive. And I've been dealing with that with all my life. And so finally to get a break from that, but then to have him come back and continue to push, it hurts. It hurts a lot, and it's very scary for me personally. But during all that, that's when I had a ton of friends leave, especially once I was able, because I've not talked about this or talked about the abuse to anyone for years, because I've been told that wasn't okay to talk about. Like, it was normal to be beaten like that, or to be abused like that. That was normal. That was fine. So I never really talked about it because it wasn't that bad. And so finally, with all the situation going on, it's finally clicked in my head that, oh, maybe it was that bad, And a lot of past memories that I pushed away because they hurt started flooding. I gained a lot of depression. And one of the things that really helped was, the friends that I have around me, helping to support. So I was very vocal about how I was feeling and what was going on. And I got shamed for it. I got told by a lot of close friends that I was being egotistical and that I was pushing my problems onto others. So as of currently, a lot of them have been getting pushed away by me because that's what I've been doing for years. And it isn't necessarily intentionally, and I do apologize for this behavior, but being told those kind of things really hurts. I don't want to hurt other people because of the pain I've gone through, so I'd rather just not talk about it. But then again, that's exactly where I was in the first place when all of this was happening. I didn't talk to anyone because I didn't want anyone upset or hurt. So it's why it took this long for something to actually happen to stop the abuse. So with a lot of what's been happening, I've been extremely discouraged by some people to not talk about it and to keep quiet, or been pushed to face things that were not as significant as what I was dealing with as of currently, which caused major issues. I know that a lot of this has not been spoken about, but there have been a few fights between me and people I've been really close to, just due to the fact that a lot of the people I know are battling depression too, and so there have been behaviors on all of our ends that have been probably not the best, and so then we just kind of keep lashing out at each other a lot, and so a lot of me and close people have been fighting too, and this is just all happening at the same time as the psychopath's trying to murder my sister, and my father's not here at home for my birthday because he was kicked out of the house. Yeah, we had to schedule a time for him to come just to say happy birthday because he wasn't allowed at the house. So, yeah, that was a little rough, not gonna lie. But the thing is it's for his good, it's for our safety. You know, he's got his issues to work out, and we need the time and space to work out the abuse that we've been going through for years. Which has been rough. It's been really rough on my family. It's been rough for me to watch them go through so much pain, knowing what the pain feels like, and to watch others around me suffer, or just even to watch people manipulate others has been horrible. I know that I've been seeing a lot of situations where people have been extremely manipulative, and now, especially with what's going on, I fear that some of my friends may be in danger of some of the situations I've been through, and it scares me. But there isn't anything I can do about a lot of those situations except just kind of sit back and watch and let it happen. Which it scares me and it bothers me a lot. It's terrifying. The world right now is already just in a very scary place. I know a lot of you know about like Chopped or Chaz. That's up in Seattle. I live in Washington State. Not going to say where, but I can say that it would be maybe like a half hour to an hour drive up there. And Washington State itself has been like trying to reinforce things without being too much, especially in certain cities, because our governor has kind of just not really done anything. So a lot of cities are undergoing a lot of stress and pressure from the officials because they don't want anything bad to happen. And that's a terrifying thing. That's a very scary thing. COVID's a thing that's happening at the same time as all this. That's also scary. I actually had someone recently, well, not recently, when COVID started, when they started the shutdown, I had somebody I knew who was very, very close to me die. She was a director for a community theater close by. Very, very strong woman. Amazing person. She was having cancer treatment and she caught COVID and she passed, and it was very hard on both myself and the community around here in the area. That like it was a big deal. It was a really big deal, and it really sucks that it happened. But then, you know, a few days ago my grandmother got put in the hospital. We thought she might have caught COVID. Turns out she didn't, thank God. But that was really scary too. I've had my other set of grandparents, or my grandmother on my father's side, basically call me out for being crazy. To my mother, she has tried in more ways than one to make me seem unstable because she does not like me right now, because I posted about what was going on a bit more verbally on a private social media page, and she saw it and was not happy with it because she believes that, and she's one of the ones who did know about what was going on, especially a couple years back. I had a flower pot thrown at me by him, and a lot of stuff went down after that. She knew about it, She knew what was happening in the household. She had seen it. But she basically said that it was okay that it happened. So she wasn't very happy that I publicly shamed my father. Not really that publicly, but to people we personally knew. Friends of family type thing. That I had said something about what was going on to them. So she's been kind of at me. Pretty much disowned that side of the family, to be honest. I didn't really like her. She never really spent any time with any of us. She didn't really care. She'd just buy gifts. And the thing is, most of the gifts that she would get, I was highly allergic to. So she didn't spend any time. She didn't know any of us at all. And it hurt a lot. So to have her go around and be like, oh, Pandy's crazy, except using my actual name. It's been rough. It's been really rough. I know I've caused, especially with my few nights of just complete depression and suicidal intention, I've caused people around me who care a lot about me to be very concerned. I've contemplated quite a few times about stopping doing the channel because of the stress and the loss of characters due to just bad people. I don't think any of the characters we've lost recently have not been because, honestly, they've been a jerk. And extremely emotionally damaging, to be honest. A lot of the wounds are still fresh and all that. And I don't really want to explain any details because I don't feel that like, other than just the fact that it has been damaging, they deserve their own privacy. And I wish to keep it that way, and I don't wish any ill will on anyone as much as I've had ill will wished upon me past few days. I want the negativity to stop. The internet's too negative. I want it to stop. I want it to be over with. I want it to be done. I want everything to be fine. And yeah, I think that's about it. About everything. So yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Sorry for this little vent dump. I just figured you all deserved to know what was going on, what was happening, why I've been unfrequently uploading, and just like why there may still continue to be some infrequent uploads. I apologize. Hopefully we'll get the 4K special to you guys soon. I have no idea what we're going to do for the 5K special. Hopefully you'll get that at some point, but there have been a lot of projects now put on hold because of loss of builders and artists. So we've been trying to recoup from that. So yeah, I hope you all have a good rest of the day. Sorry for this little negative dump. I know it sucks and it's hard, but it's kind of life. My past and what I'm currently dealing with from my past. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of the day. I know I will, because there's now a restraining order in place for the crazy child. So it's one stressor off my plate out of 500. So I hope you all have a awesome day, and I'll talk to you all later. TTFN.